Seamus violin video, take 24. Everybody enjoys music. To some people, it's an escape. To some people, it's something they like to do. And to some people, it may just be a way to waste time. But regardless of why we like music, everyone does. But not everyone has the amazing ability to give music to someone, to play an instrument for them, and give other people that thing that they enjoy so much. And so today, I'm going to be teaching you how to play an instrument, the violin, and how to play a very simple, very well-known song, Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. So, to play the violin, you will first need to know the various parts on the violin. Starting from the top, we have the tuning pegs, which are used to tune the violin. We have your various strings, which connect up to the tuning pegs, and what we call the neck, which is this piece of black wood underneath the strings. It all comes down and connects to the body, which is where the sound resonates to play music, and the bridge, which captures the sound and puts it into the body. In between the bridge and the neck is this empty space, which is where you're going to want to put your bow as you play the violin. Down here is a chin rest, where you put your chin like this, and on the underside of the violin is going to be our optional add-on called the shoulder rest, which you use to more comfortably and accurately hold your violin. You're going to take the wider side of the shoulder rest and put it on the same side as your neck rest. So you're going to take the hooks, and it can go anywhere on the violin, provided it is horizontal-ish. I prefer mine to be pretty close to the edge. And you're going to rest your shoulder rest right on your clavicle, and your chin on the chin rest. And for now, you can just leave your fingers kind of sitting on the strings. The second part of playing the violin, and probably the third or second most important, is the bow. Starting from the bottom of the bow, we have the tightening and loosening peg, which you turn this way to tighten the bow, and you turn the opposite way to loosen the bow. In order to play the violin, you're going to want it tight so that there's pressure when you want to try and tighten it. When you turn this, it takes the metal part in here and pulls on the horsehair part of the bow, which is what you're going to touch to the strings in order to play. When holding the bow, you're going to want to put your thumb in between the metal tightening part and the wooden upper part. Just kind of stick it right there, just pretty much. The rest of your fingers are going to curl around like a claw, so that your pointer finger is almost pinching something with your thumb, and your pinky finger is kind of splayed out so as to balance the bow. So, in order to hold your violin, you're going to shoulder rest to clavicle, chin to chin rest, fingers up by the strings. You're going to pick up your bow and put thumb in between metal part and wood, pointer finger so it's almost pinching something with your thumb, and pinky kind of splayed out. Now, when you play the violin, you're going to want to drag your bow with an even force, maybe about as much as you push a pencil down on a piece of paper, with an even speed. If you don't, it might sound something like a foghorn, like. That's not really what you want to hear when you're playing a song. You're going to want a long, crisp note. And it should roughly stay the same, so, as opposed to. So, once you know how to play a note, you're going to want to learn how to switch notes. You're going to start by doing your normal note, and when you would like to switch notes, you simply switch directions with the bow. For now, we're just going to stay on the same note and provide a rhythm. So it's going to go one direction, switch directions, to provide your second note. And we're going to apply that concept when switching fingers. So if you're starting out on the second lowest string, which is the D string, which is immediately above the G string, above the D string is the A string, and above the A string is the E string. The only two you're going to use in this demo are the D string and the A string. So you start on the D string, and you drag it across, and when you want to switch, you're going to put your first finger down about an inch above the end of the neck, and you're going to switch directions with your bow. So you start off with an open D, which means no fingers. One finger on and switch directions. Oh man. And that same concept applies when switching strings from the D string to the A string, which are going to be the two you're playing this demo. So to go from the D string to the A string, you are going to want to switch directions so that your bow is pulling in the direction of the swing you are changing to. So if I was going to switch from the D string to the A string, I'd be playing my D and switch to the A string in the same direction of the A string, which would be to my right. And once you have those two down, all you really need to know is finger positions, and then you can start to play the violin. So in order to place your first finger down, you are going to put it about an inch away from the edge of the neck, where it connects to the tuning peg area. Second finger is going to go about an inch above your first finger. Third finger is going to be much closer to your second finger, at maybe half an inch to a quarter of an inch. The scales should sound something like... So now, once you've learned how to change notes and what the finger positions are, you should be ready to play a song. So in order to play the song that you're going to learn, which is Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, you're going to start off by playing 2 notes on the D string. Now if I were counting with my foot, and you can, like here, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. And each one of those notes is going to represent one note on the violin. So if I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, it should sound something like... So when switching notes to play your song, each one of those beats, or maybe roughly that, is going to be one note during our song. So to start off Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, you are going to put no fingers on your D string, which is called open D string, and play 2 quarter notes, which is the 1 beat. So it's going to be... That's pretty easy. Immediately after that, you're going to switch to your A string and do 2 quarter notes there, which should sound like... And then, following our 2 quarter note pattern, you put your first finger on the A string, which is going to be your pointer finger, and play 2 notes there, going... And then you're going to go back down to your A string and do 2 quarter notes there without switching in between. It should sound something like... Then back to our 2 quarter note pattern, 3 on the D string, 2 on the D string, 1 on the D string, and then 2 notes with no gap, or with no switch. Then you're going to go back up to your A and do 2 notes up there, 3 on your D string with another 2 notes, 2 on your D string with another 2 notes, 1 on the D string, 2 notes with no switch. And that same pattern again. Now it's going to be just like the beginning with... So one more time through the entire song, it will go... So it's only taken you less than 10 minutes to learn how to play a very simple song on the violin. And because of this, you can now give the very wonderful gift of music to your friends and family and people who aren't necessarily your friends, like the people who sit next to you in English class. So in this demo, you learned about how to play Twinkle Twinkle Little Star by switching notes on the violin, by switching strings on the violin, and basic counting on the violin. You also learned the parts of the violin, the parts of the bow, and how to hold each of them. And in this demo, you learned Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, which is very, very similar to a song I will be doing in my next demo. I'm not going to bother going over the first part, because if you know Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, you know the first part of this song. It's very simple, very easy. The second part is slightly harder. It may take you 10 to 15 minutes of practice to get it down to a spot. It's called Devil Went Down to Georgia. The hard part is very, very similar to Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, but not quite the same. It goes something along the lines of